Hello, dear listeners. This is Arcturus, and you're listening to Escape from the Matrix. In our first episode, I share how my first journey with astral projection, also known as astral travel or out of body experiences, began. And I deeply believe I was meant to experience these states, and I also feel driven to help others experience them as well, because I truly sense that astral projection holds an essential key to humanity's future. I have this sort of intuition that through astral projection, we're being prepared for something significant. But you might be asking, prepared by whom and for what purpose? These intriguing questions are something we'll explore together as we continue this journey. But in today's episode, I want to delve into exactly what astral projection is. You see, after my initial out-of-body experience, I practiced the technique every night, the technique that I explained in the last episode. And I was consistently seeing results, actually. And so every night I would lie on my back, perform the technique, and each time I would feel a powerful tingling sensation, almost like electricity, and this electricity was spreading through my body. But unlike my first experience, where I told you that I blacked out and entered an unusual dream state, and then I saw my brother handing me a wand, and that then I woke up floating near the ceiling in my astral form, it never happened quite the same way again. You see, my first astral projection felt more like a symbolic initiation. It was deeply meaningful. In my dream, as I told you, I saw my brother handing me a wand, and that wand granted me the power to astral travel. And just so you know, the curious thing is that my brother is alive and he's well. So it's not like my dead brother handed me over the power or something like that. No, he's alive and well, and he actually doesn't astral project, nor does he have any interest in it. And so to this day, I'm unsure why he appeared in that dream handing me that power. I believe perhaps it was a personal message rather than part of the usual astral projection experience. But everybody's different. So as I was telling you, as I continued practicing nightly, instead of falling asleep normally, I would find myself entering sleep paralysis, completely unable to move my physical body. And during this state, I would experience a struggle, a kind of internal resistance, as I attempted to detach my astral body from my physical form. And when you first learn astral projection, at least the way I was taught, you're often given mantras and specific detachment techniques to help your astral body break free. Because interestingly, the physical body exerts a kind of magnetic pull, making detachment challenging. And here's an intriguing fact about that. Did you know that your astral body naturally leaves your physical body every single night when you sleep without any struggle at all? Actually, it's a completely natural process, almost as if your astral body simply needs to have a break from your physical self to recharge each night. This reveals an important truth, that astral projection is entirely safe. Your astral body already knows exactly how to detach, and does so effortlessly every night. And the key difference with astral projection is that this detachment occurs consciously by your own intention. It's similar to breathing or walking. These processes are automatic, but when you become consciously aware of them, they can feel awkward or even challenging at first. Sometimes focusing too hard on your breathing, for example, might even make you choke a bit. I believe the process of consciously detaching your astral body works in a very similar fashion. And so, as I was saying, every night I was practicing to try to leave my physical body, but unlike the first time where I saw myself completely detached from the physical body and I tried to exit floating through the window, these following times I was feeling my astral body stuck to my physical body, as if I were glued. And every night that I tried, I was getting little by little further away from it. Like, I could set one astral foot loose, then an astral arm, then I would feel how I could detach my astral head from my physical body. And then I began to get further away from the physical body until I achieved a complete detachment. And I could feel that I was only connected to my physical body by the silver cord. And by the way, on those occasions, like I said, I could feel the silver cord, but unlike the first time, I was unable to see it again. And to this day, I haven't seen it again. I haven't seen the silver cord again. I don't know why. I just know it's there. So anyways, so finally, I was making it to the other side of the room. And I was exploring the room in the astral plane, the whole apartment, until I finally managed to exit the apartment in the astral plane. And I remember that I would go down the stairs and into the street, and the buildings and the streets, they looked exactly the same as in the 3D world. And actually, I thought I was in my astral body, invisible to the people in the 3D world. So I guess you could say I was nosy. And so I would get inside houses and apartments trying to spy on people. And that's where I realized that something was off, because places were empty. I couldn't find people at first. And then I understood that the reason for it was that I was not looking at the 3D plane, but at the astral version of the 3D plane. You see, when you astral travel, your astral body goes to the astral plane, which takes place in the 5th dimension. Why in the 5th dimension? And what happened to the dimension in between, the 4th dimension? Well, I will discuss that in the next episode. So, what happens is that your mind's impressions of the 3D world, of your city in the 3D world, are so strong. They are so memorized in your mind, and your mind recreates their aspect in the astral plane. And so it's only when you've been a while exploring in the astral plane, when stuff from the 3D world starts to disappear from your field of vision, and you start to see stuff from the astral plane, like astral versions of the 3D world, and places that don't exist or don't exist yet in the 3D world, and which are quite impressive. For instance, I don't know if there's like an astral version, like an actual astral version of every single city in the world, but I've seen some of the astral versions of cities that I've lived in, like Prague, and those places are amazing. They're like full of magic, and they are beautiful, even more beautiful. And so then you might be wondering what happened to the people, because when I was exploring these houses and these apartments in the astral plane, I couldn't find people at first. And so what I discovered was that since buildings are more solid and more permanent than people, then they leave a lasting impression in the astral plane. And that's why we can perceive them. We can perceive the 3D buildings in the astral plane. But the people are different, because we might not be familiar with how the neighbor looks. And also, people move a lot. They are not permanent. So they leave a weaker imprint in the astral plane. And that's why it's very hard to perceive their physical bodies in the 3D world from the astral plane. It's easier, however, to see their astral bodies in the astral plane. So what happens when you visit these apartments and houses in the astral plane and you find them empty of people, if you stay long enough, you start to see their astral forms. And what normally happens is that people are dreaming, right? So you see that they don't see you. Like, they are in the astral plane, but they don't perceive you because they are not conscious. They're not conscious that they are dreaming. Like, the thing is, dreams also happen in the astral plane. And when we dream, it's like we start to observe images produced by our subconscious. And because of that, we don't really see like the reality of the astral plane. It's like we are trapped inside our minds, something like that. And so when you enter into other people's houses, they might be very far away. They might be like in a dream world that they created, and they could go to that dream world, and the astral plane is like a infinite place. Like, there are no limits. So they could be so far away, like in a fairy tale land, but at the same time, it's like their presence, if you focus long enough, if you stay long enough, will also manifest in their houses, because maybe they are like energetically attached somehow to their living spaces. So eventually you will see them, and you will see that they act like they are sleepwalking. You will see their astral forms, their astral bodies, and their astral bodies will look exactly the same as their physical bodies, just maybe a little bit subtler. Not really like ghosts. I mean, sometimes they can seem like ghosts, but most of the time they actually look like the way you see people in the 3D world. It's just that they are distracted. You talk to them and they don't answer. Sometimes like they can hear you, but they are really looking at the images of their dreams. So it's like they react like and then you ask them questions and they're like like they don't get it, right? And that's also why when I studied astral projection, they told me not to try to wake people up in the astral world, because it's kind of hard. I mean, it's not dangerous for them. It's not dangerous for you either. But it's like you're kind of wasting your time, because the person needs to be able to astral project. I mean, if it's a person that is used to astral projection or astral travel, and you try to wake that people up in the astral plane, I mean, by waking people up, I mean like telling them, hey, you are having an astral projection and you are dreaming right now, so wake up from the dream and explore the astral plane with me. If they are astral travelers, you can do that, and they will respond, and maybe you will achieve that they will gain lucidity in the astral plane. But if they are not used to that, they will just not listen to you, and they will completely forget about you. Maybe if they wake up in the 3D world, I mean, after you stop astral traveling and you wake up in the 3D world, you might ask them like, hey, I saw you in the astral, and maybe they will tell you like, oh, that's why I think I saw you in a dream, or I think I heard your voice in a dream. But otherwise it's really hard to wake them up in the astral plane, I mean. And so that sort of resumes my first explorations in the astral plane. But to be honest, I had like some of the most amazing stories that I can tell you, and I will be telling you about those stories from the astral plane, because what I'm telling you right now, it's just me, in my first moments in the astral plane, trying to figure out how to navigate it, sensing the difference between the 3D world and the astral plane. But then stuff started to go crazy in a good way. Like, stuff started to, I've seen some amazing things over there, past lives, aliens, temples that don't exist in our world, beautiful cities, beautiful places. Um, I've been able to manifest things from the astral plane. I've met masters that have taught me stuff, and so many interesting stories that I'll be sharing with you in this podcast. And maybe on next episode, I'm gonna explain more about how the astral plane came to be, so that you understand that there are different dimensions and why we live in the 3D world and why dreams happen in the astral plane. So I hope you're liking my podcast. This is Arcturus, and I hope to see you soon. And if you want more information about what I do, visit escapefromthematrix.com.